Today on the Street View interview show is the one and only Carl Donnelly. Carl is a prestigious and prolific stand-up comedian. He's been nominated for the Edinburgh Comedy Award not once but 2 times. He's got a great podcast called the Carl Donnelly and Chris Martin podcast, and he's got another one just about to come out called Babysitting Trevor, so check that out. I'll put a link down below. Thanks for coming on the show, Carl.
Cheers, I'm excited about this.
I think we're going to have a fun time.
Walk down memory lane.
A little journey into the virtual world of Google Street View.
Yeah.
And your life. So you ready to go home?
Let's do it.
Let's have a look. Let's teleport. So where's this, Carl? What am I looking at here?
This is, I believe, Mitcham Road in Tooting Broadway. This is
okay,
sort of,
London, right?
Yep. So this is Southwest London, SW17 to be precise. There's a pub up here that is now called the Antelope, and go one more up. This pub here. On the left there, behind the bus stop, that's the Antelope there. That used to be called, it's the Antelope.
Antelope!
That used to be called Jack Beard's. It was a very notorious Irish pub, one of the ones that you'd end up in if you'd been barred from other pubs. There was a few pubs that were notorious for, like, this was Jack Beard's, and there was the Mitre, which was back down Mitcham Road, where somebody once hit me over the back with a pull cue for looking at their girlfriend when I wasn't even facing the direction of their girlfriend. Yeah, they clearly just wanted to hit someone with a pull cue. So yeah, I mean that I suppose is where the people might have got the impression it was a bit rough around back in the day.
So let's go to your next place, which is your favourite place in the world. You ready?
Yes.
Bang.
I didn't know
Where
what to
is
pick
this,
here.
Carl?
Well, this isn't my. I mean, I've got loads of favourite places in the world, but this is. And this doesn't have to be here, but I really like mountains.
What is it specifically about mountains that you like, do you think?
Well, I think it's the sort of, if you grow up in London, you grow up in a city, Tooting's not exactly awash with greenery.
It's not that mountainous either, is it? Yeah.
So I think it was just that it's so big and vast and spread, you can sit on a mountain, you just see for miles. It's such a different experience to, if people grow up in the countryside, they probably have that novelty factor when they come to a city, but for me, going somewhere like that natural, I think first time I did it, I just felt very at home.
Now we're going to go to the next place, which is your least favourite place in the world.
Oh yeah. Yes.
What's this? Back in London?
Back in London, so further south, Croydon High Street. So there was just a lot of horrible nights out, getting into scrapes on Croydon High Street. There used to be a club called the Blue Orchid, which was nicknamed the Blue School Kid, because anyone could get in, no matter, they just never checked your ID. And you used to go in, you'd pay like £20, and they'd give you an empty glass that was like plastic, and you just had to use that all night, but it was free drinks for the whole evening.
Serious?
Yeah,
oh
so you just go and keep getting it refilled. It was just disgusting. Yeah, I think it's getting better. But where I was there back in the days of it being just grotty.
Now we're going to go to a place with a happy memory.
Oh, lovely!
Where is this? India, right?
This is India. This is the Golden Temple, famous Golden Temple in Amritsar. I love India. I've been there. I've only been there once, but I spent a few months there just travelling around. I just found Amritsar it was like a sorbet, when you have those swanky meals and they give you a palate cleanser.
Oh, okay.
After going through the carnage of Delhi and then getting to Amritsar, it just felt like everything just chilled, and I was like, I remember just sitting in this little golden temple for a good couple of hours and just feeling very, very happy to be there. My family's Catholic, so I say that my dad's not really a Catholic. He just goes along with what my mum says. But I think I grew up, as much as I'm not a believer anymore in any religion, but I do have this reverence for religious buildings. Like in Melbourne, Australia, they've got a lovely cathedral that I used to go and sit in almost most days, often with a hangover, which I actually now think might have been inappropriate. I'd use it as a hangover cure, but it was such a lovely environment. It was peaceful and calm, and it was almost, I suppose maybe there's a hangover from being raised Catholic, that I would just, if I had a hangover, I'd wander up and sit in the cathedral, like head in hands.
Guilt.
It was, I might have been trying to justify it to myself by saying it just made me, it's nice and cool in there, but actually there's probably some little Catholicism left in me.
Now we're going to go to a place with a sad memory. What's this called?
Brighton seafront.
What happened here? Why
Well,
is
it's
this
not.
sad?
I've got loads of places where I've got sad memories, but this is just. Oh, who's that? Somebody there?
That's
Is
weird.
that the person who's taking?
Yeah, I think it must be. That's weird.
Oh,
With their dog.
just
Walking a dog. That's
and
bizarre.
one foot. Look down there. There's a little foot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, toes. So I split up with an ex, and it happened in over the phone when I was in Brighton, and it was a Sunday, and I just went and sat on a bench with some homeless guys, and I was just really upset. And then, it was that thing where they just didn't know what to say. And I was just sitting next to them, just in tears, and it was just horrible. But yeah, it's also, I suppose, I reckon the setting didn't help. Do you know what I mean? If I was in somewhere like a comfortable place or my own place, you can sort of, but having the sea out there to remind you of, how insignificant you are, it probably added to the fact that I felt double insignificant.
And how does it feel looking at it now? Does it bring back?
It still brings back memories. I was in Brighton yesterday, and walking down the seafront, I do always have that memory of me just sort of. I sat on a bench, was very upset. And then I walked to a pub just about a 5-minute walk from there up into the town, and I just drank on my own. It was horrible. It was really crap.
So you just split up with her boyfriend Luke on the phone?
Yeah, it was really rainy as well. I just remembered. It was a covered bench down. It was sort of. It was on the way to Hove. And I just ran towards it, and there was just two homeless guys sitting there, and I was just sat next to them. Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
All right, let's get out of here before we cry.
Yeah.
So the next place is where you did your first stand-up comedy gig.
Yes. Here we go. The Enterprise. They call it the Enterprise in Camden, but it's absolutely in Chalk Farm. That's Chalk Farm Tube Station. Don't come on. Who are they kidding? I think this was my first proper gig.
And how did you feel when you, was it an instant thing where you were like, this is what I want to do?
Absolutely.
Or did it take a while?
No, first time I ever went on stage. I'd never done any performing in my life. Never been on stage, never done drama at school. I was so terrified of public speaking. I used to hate reading out in class. But the moment I did, for some reason, stand-up didn't feel like that. The first time I went on stage, I felt like a level of calm when I got on stage. Beforehand I was terrified, but the moment I actually got to the mic, everything just sort of went quiet, and I was like, oh, maybe this is actually what I'm meant to do.
Now we're going to go to the next place, which is a place that scares you. Whoa, that's a scary guy.
What is he carrying?
Looks like toys.
Yeah,
selling toys. I think we're back in India, aren't we?
This is yeah, I think it's I don't think it's a great representation, but it is Delhi.
Delhi, yeah. India's not properly on Street View, so this is...
What is this?
This is the best we can do.
Yeah.
Security, mate.
Is that true?
Yeah, seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
They think it's a security risk.
Wow. Delhi is just, I think it, no amount of Brian Eno in your ears can make you cope with the can't, it's so non-stop. I had so many arguments with people, and I'm not an arguer. I'm really relaxed and chilled, but because the rickshaw drivers are just, it's amazing because you go down everywhere else in India, everyone's on the whole, you get a little bit of people trying to sell stuff. Naturally, that's the nature of what happens there, but they're respectful when you say no. But in Delhi, they are the hardcore.
Yeah.
No, you do not know what you want. I'm going to sell it to you, and it's so funny.
Well, the more touristy places are like that, aren't they?
Yeah. But then,
because that kind of grows up in a response to the tourists,
totally,
because you go places that are not touristy at all, you don't get that at all.
And I'm not even criticising. I would say I understand it. It's there. It's necessary. People are just trying to make a living. But yeah, it broke me. I remember just one guy. I got into a rickshaw, and I just said, "Can you take me to wherever it was I was going?" And he went, yeah. And then he said, but what we'll do as well, I'll take you here first, and then we'll do this. And he's basically just designed this tour for me. I was like, no, mate, actually, I actually just want to go there. He was like, no, but honestly, it's a really good tour. And we sat there, I reckon it was 15 minutes of just me saying, no, genuinely, can you just take me there?
Yeah.
And it just built and built and built. And I was being as patient as I could. And he was trying every little way of wording it.
Yeah.
and I snapped, and I feel really bad because I never snap, but I just went, mate, just fucking take me there, mate. And I was like, take me there, and he said, yeah, but then I'll wait for you there. And when you come out, I'll take you to the other place.
Yeah.
And I was almost in tears. And I just was like, well, I ain't coming out. You'll be waiting a long time. I was turning into such an arsehole. But he had this ability of just not breaking that sort of the hard sell.
Yeah.
And it was just that non-stop. When I got to Delhi, it was like 3 or 4 days of just constant that.
I know what you mean.
And it
because
just...
culturally, you don't know how to handle it as well. You don't know how rude to be.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just waiting for you to go, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have done that right away.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. You don't know
the fact that
you don't know how to upset someone. You don't know what.
And also
level.
I'm not. I know some people say you just got to be cold and rude and ignore people, but I don't have that.
I know. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it feels horrible.
Yeah. So it was just like the thought of going back there is it's one of the few places on earth that scares me. In knowing it made me realise how like emotionally unstable I am. Because I thought, I remember I'm interested in like certain, Buddhism and things like that, and I'm quite aware of how the outside world affects me. But yeah, this place separates the men from the boys. Like, I thought I was chilled and zen, and I could just float around, and I was like, nah, mate, there's a lot of work to do inside.
Right, so this is almost the end now. We're going to look at the last place, which is a place you find peaceful, Carl. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Arthur's Seat, right?
Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh, which is... there's loads of places in the world I find very peaceful. But I think in the context of where this is, I think it's such an amazing place, because obviously doing the Edinburgh Festival every year... I'm not somebody who stresses...
Edinburgh Festival is like the biggest comedy festival in the UK, right?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest... Isn't it the biggest arts festival in the world?
Probably in the world,
I think it is, yeah. So, and it's like the sort of centre of British comedy, and we all spend a month there every year. We write a new show, and you work hard on it, and you put a lot of effort in. And then when you get there, it can be, it's an emotional roller coaster as a month. And I'm always quite good at dealing with it. I keep myself quite stable up there and grounded. Some people just go crazy, don't they? And just read all about the reviews and to get a bit obsessed. I'm pretty good at not doing that, but there is normally one day of the month where I just feel like I just want to not be here. It's a long time, and Arthur's Seat is just the place to go. It is. We can walk from the centre of Edinburgh to the top of Arthur's Seat in 30 minutes. And you feel like you suddenly realise how utterly how nothing that festival is. Really.
Yeah.
It just takes you out of the festival and just gives you a total just like reset, I think. And it's lovely as well. I try and get up there, a few times over the month.
So it gives you a bit of perspective going on.
Oh, totally.
Literally and metaphorically.
Yeah, totally. Because you look down over Edinburgh and realise it's a small city. It's a beautiful but small city. No one outside of Edinburgh really gives a shite about the festival. So you're just down in this city just obsessing. Oh my God, how many people are going to have in tonight? I wonder what they're saying about me. I wonder what the world thinks of my show. And then you sit up here and realise, no one cares. Like, you just look down and just realise it's just a really lovely place that you shouldn't stress about. Look, that bird's having a little think. He's just looking over.
He's worrying about his hour.
Yeah.
His next hour.
He's like Steve Bennett was in last night, who is a well-known reviewer. Yeah, that's the thing. It is that moment of you looking down and going, it doesn't matter, does it? This rock has been here long before the Edinburgh Fringe, and it'll be here long after. What am I stressing for?
That's it, Carl. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now all that's left to do is to zoom out and get some perspective on the world. I've been Dave Green. This has been the Street View interview show. Make sure you subscribe. There's going to be different comedians every week looking at different places all around the world. And he's been Carl Donnelly.
Cheers.
Good night. Thank you.